I'm telling you now. I'm telling you now. So what are we telling you now? I'm telling you now. I'm telling you right away. All the hermits, this is what they'll say. I'm telling you now. I'm telling you right away. I hope you've got an eternity in a day. 'Cause if I open my mouth, there's endless things I'll say. I am a blobber, blabber, bloober mouth. I'm done. I'm done. Done. I am convinced there is so much truth from so many different sources that is sincere, heartfelt. There's so much, absolutely so much, and I'm blinded, utterly blinded. At 65, I'm done. If you ever watch, I don't know how many I've done. I don't remember when I started. But this is the end of Avi Crazy. Because I can't get anyone to do what I know needs to be done. If you have any interest in loving the lonely, just take a few hours like you had a weird course. Look at some of these videos. Read what I wrote in the descriptions. A lot of repeating. Doesn't matter. You know why? 'Cause I'm done. You know what you get when you try to move Mount Everest? A hernia. Truth. For every platitude that would tell you he that hesitates is lost, there will be an equal look before you leap. The issue is the lonely are here. And I've asked the Almighty, as arrogant and as evil as I am, the request isn't, I am. And loneliness, God. God's not interested. God's not interested in what I really want, and that's for there to be no pain and suffering for any beings on any galaxies of any dimensions, spirit, souls, species. Just end all the pain and suffering. God ain't interested in that. Because that's what's really necessary. What I want to do is a coping mechanism. A do-goodnik. I just know it's too simple. I'm not going to get into it anymore. Maybe I'll be dead. And somebody will watch this. It's crazy how that works. You know, unless a kernel of wheat, a seed, falleth into the ground, Jesus said, dies, seed gets buried in the ground. Unless a seed is buried in the ground of good ground, nurtures full the sincerity of real non-judgmental, uplifting, unconditional, radical love, Sermon on the Mount type, Muhammad teaching to love those that disdain you, and practiced throughout Judaism. For if you were a good Jew, you always helped the downtrodden. You pulled an Abraham and you said, listen, Lot, you make a decision. And after you, if you're a good Jew, you're Joseph. After all the shit, I'm still going to love you. Point is, Hinduism is just riddled with manifestations of compassion to overshadow and ultimately reincarnate you into the eternal light. It's all about non-judgmental, uplifting, unconditional love. It is. So if you're that kind of fertile ground, unless a kernel of wheat, a seed, this podcast, from this kernel is hardened, shelled, but within it, the teaching of compassion in a pragmatical way, search and rescue every institution of isolation, all the millions and millions of shut-ins that are scattered abroad, starting in America, that's because that's where I am. And make sure every jail, every nursing home, every psych ward, every homeless shelter, every orphanage, etc., everything I've missed, everyone has a real, non-judgmental, uplifting, unconditionally loving friend. And I've tried. I started with Turn a Frown Around. I won 12 awards. Hated how sick I was. Doesn't matter. God's that should have worked in spite of me. Then when I went AWOL, you would think that as much as I'm throwing rocks, leave me alone, I'm out of my mind, go away, you would think in a year or two, a posse would appear who I thought would be friends and then direct, radical, we gotta end the loneliness. All right, you went AWOL, many reasons, but now you feel purified. You feel you went from a wishy-washy to a radical, progressive agenda on compassion of directly making sure it's only 20% meringue and 80% pie. Let's make it happen. All right, we're with you, man. Listen, and we love you. We don't care. We know you're fucked up. We don't know how fucked up. Come on, get back here. We're going to readjust all this and make this happen. That didn't happen. So then I'm homeless for a couple of years in Pittsburgh, and I find someone that was real virgin territory for a lot of beautiful reasons. And I start something up again. I try to get a few people back on board from Turn the Frown Around, but a new thing, because I know you can't put new wine in old wineskins, and I try to let them know. And oh my God, meeting with, Point Park University, the dean of something and the chair of something. I met with their inner nucleus of, the college kids that were radical about the psychology club. We're going to and I go, absolutely insane again. Met with a nursing home, had a woman cry in my arms, the activity director, I swear, on my daddy's grave and on Elizabeth's grave, the woman who raised me. She cried in my arms somewhere in Clariton, I think it was, Clariton, Pennsylvania. She said, you're an answer to prayer. I wanted to help these people. I went batshit crazy. Do you know how many hundreds of people in New Jersey and New York and Pennsylvania would turn a frown around? I promised to be their friend. Oh my God. I am the guy that literally takes in 283 stray dogs, and 6 months later, everyone's dead, including me. It's just bizarre. You think God would kind of come on and help? Make that happen? God's not interested in a bunch of sincere people. I don't know. Dr. Hunter Patch Adams at the movie Robin Williams played in as Patch Adams said, loneliness is the most curable epidemic. It is. 2 by 2. It's not complicated. You find lonely, it does it. Anyway. If you're interested in some of my thoughts, look at some of the videos. Because I'm assuming I'll be dead. If this is ever discovered, that's the allegory. I've died, and the shell is, the hardness of my heart, the bitterness, the piece of shit, the hypocrisy. I've always been for 65 years a piece of ugh. I'm a walking contradiction. It's disgusting. I'm disgusting. You don't try to kill something if you like it. You try to kill something you don't want. Get that mosquito. Get that cockroach. Get that ivy. Screwy drewy. Piece of shit. Hypocrisy, hypocrisy, hypocrisy. Period, period, period. It's disgusting. Nevertheless, inside that shell of that seed is this concept. Let's just get radical about making sure we love the lonely, love the lonely, love the lonely. Till they're not lonely anymore. It's not complicated. No money. Well, anyway, I'm not going through that. The issue is, unless this corn of wheat fall into the ground, Jesus said it abides alone. It's useless. Seed just stays in the seed pack, or it just sits on, stray thing that fell out and just on some shelf or table. It's useless. So am I. So is this concept. And I'm done. Because that didn't happen in Pittsburgh. Then I end up where I am now. And, oh my God, esophagus perforation, hamstring snapped permanently. It doesn't matter. Mental breakdowns, those I'm used to, but and then a heart attack. In the midst of all this, wow, I met some professionals, and I really thought, okay, wow, we can do this podcast, and we'll do this. We're going to get a think tank. It almost happened. And I blew up again. And I've just tried a fourth time. The fifth time, really, if you turn around, I thought people would have come. Then there's the podcast. No, but if I have to turn a frown around. I tried again, one time in Pittsburgh, 1 and 2 times here. Let's try it again. It worked. My back got so bad, I'm in excruciating pain. It's just disgusting. I'm not even going through the soap opera. I had a very sincere idea. I went to a nursing home. I have a friend, Herman, that was going to work with me, and so we thought, okay, let me just lower my sights. Let's just do it right here. I'm crippled now. Doesn't matter. What I'm saying is 3 strikes, I'm out. I tried. You don't think that God's could have had somebody that saw something and said, oh my God. It's not like I don't announce what I'm about to people when I'm in a good zone. I'm always going, we gotta love the lonely. So I'm done. Done. It's sad. It's pathetic. Maybe somebody else. But the ultimate is, God, can't you just end suffering? I see the biggest of all the pictures. I feel it's just disgusting. But I just know one thing, that if you are a lonely person in a fucking nursing home or jail or homeless shelter, and all of a sudden, stagnant water smells. The same people around, familiarity breeds contempt, because all humans are a mix of positives and negatives, but even the positives get on other people's positives,
nerve and they repel, and it's just complicated the way God's fucking did all this shit. But it's just something. The proverb says there's a friend that sticks closer than a brother. It's like supernatural. It's like David and Jonathan in the Torah, I think, or Torah. Anyway, point is, John put his head on Jesus. Muhammad and the Jew. And these relationships. The point is, what? Somebody out of nowhere. Because if you want to get stagnant water, not stagnant, you got to bring fresh water in from the outside. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, here you are, grandma, grandpa, just waiting to die, whether it's going to be 2 hours or, sadly, 20 years. No one's ever going to really be your friend. No one. Staff comes, staff goes. It's all bad. You're getting sicker and more alone. Dying alone. Another Eleanor Rigby. I don't know, or someone makes a decision and goes, I'm going to visit you every week till one of us dies. You're my buddy. You're my pal. I want to learn from you because you're older. You're in jail, so you've had some hard experiences. Let me learn from you. You go in as an equal. You go in feeling like I'm going to get the diamonds in these caves of isolation and forgottenness and throwawayness. I've asked a lot of people to help me. They ain't help. So, I don't want to live. I'm in too much pain. I'm not going to go through all that on this tape. I'll sum it up fast. If tomorrow I met a radical thinking Dr. Kevorkian-like veterinarian, and they wouldn't lose their license, I don't know, it'd have to be so undercover, because it'd be illegal, Women don't want anyone telling them what to do with their body, but I can't kill myself. Really. Come on. Nothing is all black and white. Remember I said about so much light? Listen, I'm a Jew. My great-grandfather was a rabbi. Listen, Nazi Germany, that's an extreme. Any genocide, any time you murder someone, that's wrong. Well, it's got to be somewhere between that and mercy killing. Like, I don't want to live anymore. The Eskimo, it doesn't matter. The point is, I don't want to live. I'm getting sicker. I have no one. I don't get along with people anyway. The point is, I need such a unique situation. I don't have it. I'm getting sicker. And one of the things that would have held me, my daughter's dead. Then I had another relationship. That person, Book of Job, hit their life. So I try to attach myself now to the greater good of the only thing I could do within my 65 years of manure to plant in the present. So let's end loneliness. I can't get that to work. I don't want to live. I don't want my rights taken away. I don't want to be the guy dying alone in a nursing home or psych ward or homeless shelter. I don't want to be that. I mean, what do you think? It doesn't happen? Did you think it doesn't? Then why do we have a homeless problem? Why do we have zillions of people in jails that never get visited? Why do zillions of people die in nursing homes? The Eleanor Rigby's. Don't you get it? I don't want to be that. I don't want to deteriorate. What am I, a piece of shit because I don't want to persevere to the end? I read most of the book of Tuesdays with Murray. I'd be ecstatic if I had all that. I would be like, oh, wow, we're getting millions and millions of people's friends. Okay, Maybe I wouldn't mind so deteriorating then. Maybe I would still. I don't know. Every fingerprint is different. Don't turn around and make me feel guilty because I don't want to just die slowly for no one to even come and be with me or really care. Well, fuck that. Let me go now. Listen, I'm afraid of God, but I'll meet God and I'll go, ah! I don't blame them. Her, them, they're gods. I don't have any feelings, otherwise there'd be no pain and suffering. I don't know what they'll do with me. But don't you tell me what I'm going to do with me. That's disgusting. I'm not stupid. I'm mentally ill. I'm out of my mind. I hear, but listen, I was a CEO for 12 years almost. Go fuck yourself. I started 3 businesses. Like John Nash in A Beautiful Mind. I hate this world. I hate this fucking world. I think Ernest Hemingway said basically it's almost impossible to find a happy, intelligent person. I have a thing now. You can see it there. It's a fortune cookie, or it was from tea or something that said that an optimist believes we live in the best of times, and a pessimist fears they're right. I don't want to live anymore. Is that okay? Can I be fine, China? Am I a piece of shit because I don't want to take any more punches? I was molested. A lot. This is a bunch of shit. I don't want to be here. So, there'll be a lot of people, unfortunately, still are here. So, maybe you will go, you know what, sorry that guy killed himself, but wow, I'm going to at least take that fucking idea and do something with it. You know, I'm Bill Gates, I'm, Amazon, Jeff Bezos, I'm Warren Buffett. You know what? How hard is it for us to computerize, do a search and rest, blah, blah, blah. Let's make it happen. Like a Jerry Lewis telethon, a friend of mine. But I gotta go. I'm gonna be homeless in 18 days. I'm mentally getting worse and worse, physically worse and worse. I'm 65. So, I have nothing else to say. Other than, I have nothing else to say. And loneliness. Love the lonely. Love the lonely. That's what I like. Figure out a way to make sure that you love the lonely until they are lonely no more. Love the loneliness away.